Hey guys, what's up? My name is Eric and I'm the Techy agent, and this is going to be my second look and review of the new Mio Slice. So this is my second Mio Slice. The first one that I had, I reviewed about a month ago, and I really felt like it was still kind of in beta mode, how there was a lot of hiccups in the product that needed to be worked out before it was really mainstream. And so I've talked and kind of gone back and forth a little bit with Mio. They saw my video and they responded to my video in an email and just wanted to let me know that they had some firmware updates that had been coming out and are continuing to roll out to address some of the issues that I had with this wearable. And so they sent me a new wearable, and I've been reviewing it now for a couple of weeks, and so I kind of wanted to give you my status update as to where I'm at with the new Mio Slice. So I'm going to put a link to my original review in the description below and then also on screen now, and you can click on that if you would like to watch that first and then come back to this video to kind of get an update on where I'm at with this particular device. So let's talk about some improvements that they've made that have come with firmware updates. The first thing is going to be sleep tracking. So the sleep tracking on the when they first rolled out the Mio Slice was very subpar. And what I noticed is that if I would get up to use the restroom for 5-10 minutes, that it would assume that I had woken up and then it would restart the sleep count. So I would wake up in the morning and it would have me, sleeping from maybe 2 a.m. till about 6:30 a.m. It'd only give me credit for 4.5 hours of sleep because it assumed that when I got up to use the restroom at 2 a.m. that's actually when I began my sleep. They've definitely updated that with a firmware update. I'm getting consistent results now showing 7, 8, or even 9 hours worth of sleep, in spite of the fact that I might be getting up in the middle of the night for 5 or 10 minutes to grab a midnight snack or use the restroom or something like that. So whatever firmware update they've done has definitely improved and fixed any issues that I had with sleep tracking. Now, what about battery life? Battery life was one of my concerns. With all of the notifications turned on and screens set to max brightness, I was getting about 2 days worth of battery life, even a little bit less than that with the Mio Slice. And now I'm getting about 3 days worth of battery life. So that's still not great considering many designated fitness trackers are getting 5 or 6 days worth of battery life. And so out of this, you're going to get about half of that. Now, with that being said, I've had multiple users who have already purchased this let me know that the screen brightness is not sufficient enough to be able to be visible in very bright, clear sunlight. Now, I'm in Ohio where we haven't seen sunlight here for a few months just because it's the winter, and so I've had absolutely no issues seeing this screen indoors or in direct sunlight or what little light that there is. But other users have told me that this screen isn't as bright as they would like it to be in a summer context in direct summer sunlight. So that's something to take into consideration. But with that being said, battery life has improved by about a day, at least as far as I can tell. Now, the biggest issue that I had with this was heart rate tracking. I took this into the gym on my first review, and I did weightlifting, I did CrossFit style, boot camp style exercises, I did steady state cardio, and the only exercise that this seemed to track well as far as heart rate data is concerned was steady state cardio, was jogging. And so all of the other exercises that I did, whether it was weightlifting or whether it was high intensity interval training or CrossFit styled exercises, all of them just did not respond well, or this did not respond well to those exercises. The heart rate data was completely unusable. Now, they have made some moderate improvements. I did notice that the firmware update did make this so this was able to hang in there a little bit more with fewer dropouts and fewer issues. There are still some issues that I did notice. There were some times where this would track flawlessly my heart rate in a very intense kind of workout for 15-20 minutes. It would be hanging right in there, and then all of a sudden I would get a dropout and I wouldn't be able to get the data back for another 20 minutes or so, or it would continue to kind of like track for a few minutes and then drop out for another few minutes. So the heart rate tracking, I think, is getting better. They're definitely optimizing it and it's improving, and I think that with more consecutive firmware updates, we'll see that the heart rate sensor on this will improve. So that's great. I do see that that's something that Mio is working on. That's something that's important to them, and they're taking care of that issue. It's not quite there yet. It is improving. So that's something for you guys to be aware of. If my original concerns that the heart rate data was completely garbage, it's not quite as bad as I had originally thought. And so I'm hopeful to see this device continue to improve as more firmware updates are rolled out. Now, my other big beef with this was that during your actual exercise, you're only able to see a couple of metrics: how many beats per minute your heart rate is beating, and also how many pi you have collected, which is their proprietary scoring system. And I want to see other data points. I want to see how many steps. I want to see distance. I want to see how many calories I've burned for the workout, and none of that data is included. And so that was a little bit discouraging to me. Now, as of yet, they have not addressed that. In your workout mode on this, you're still only able to see your beats per minute and your pi score, and that's literally it. And so I'm waiting for Mio to update where I'm able to see other metrics that are important to me. How many steps am I taking? What's my distance, or estimated distance, since this doesn't have GPS, other than just my pi score. Now, with that being said, I have kind of done a complete 180 in regards to the pi score metric. I've always kind of been against using a proprietary scoring system like Pi, or other fitness trackers have had their own version of a proprietary scoring system. And I've just been against that because it's hard to know what that number means and what it should be. But as I've kind of researched what Mio is trying to accomplish with the Pi score and ways in which it will be helpful to the user long term, I've kind of done a 180 on it, and I think that it's a really helpful metric that someone can use. The idea behind Pi score is that you earn credits for doing certain exercises, or having your heart rate elevated at a certain amount over a given period of time, and after about a couple of weeks, you'll kind of level out at a particular Pi score. And then as you improve or push yourself harder, that Pi score will go up. And then maybe as you get a little bit lazy and don't go to the gym and don't go to work out, that Pi score will drop. And so the Pi score is kind of just their proprietary way to keep track of what you're doing, if you're improving or if you're getting worse. And I do think that it could be helpful to a lot of people. If you would have asked me at the end of my first review what I would have ranked this on a scale of 1 to 10, I probably would have said 5. It's certainly not the worst fitness tracker out there, but it's far from being anywhere as a top tier fitness tracker. I've probably adjusted that assessment a little bit. I would say that this is probably now a 6 going on to a 7 in terms of, on a scale of 1 to 10. But in order for it to kind of hit that 8, 9, or 10 point, they just have to take care of a few more issues. And I have every confidence that Mio will with some firmware updates. But in me, it's just kind of in poor form to release something that still feels like it's in beta. Now, technically speaking, the official release for this product isn't until February. So they still have some time to kind of tighten things up and get things right. But I just hate reviewing something and feeling like I'm a beta tester. I like to review stuff and feel like it's already complete, it's already kind of perfected, and they've already worked through all of the known issues. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments section below, and I'm happy to answer them and answer them truthfully and honestly. I'll maybe give this a third review as we maybe see some more firmware updates coming out here in the next few months. Now, obviously, all of these are software updates. In terms of actual hardware, in terms of build quality, and everything that you're seeing here, nothing's changed, right? It's just the same device, and that with firmware updates, they're modifying the software to kind of calibrate this and make it a better device. And so for hardware information, I'll refer you back to my original video, again in the description below. You can click on that. Thanks for watching. My name is Eric, and I'm the Techy Agent. We'll catch you next time.